Good morning. I am Lynette in Bradshaw. I'm the owner of Restore Her Worth. I'm also an author, speaker, coach, and podcaster. And as a coach, I work with women who, through traumatic experiences and unaddressed emotions, have forgotten who they really are. I believe that every woman deserves to stand in her truth, no matter her past. So I become her tour guide, and we go on a journey through a 5-step process during a total mindset and emotional shift so that she's able to become the best version of herself that she desires to be. So this morning, I wanted to put a little bug in your ear and let you know that it's time to level up now. And the way all of this came about is coming this Wednesday, I will be celebrating my 51st birthday. And every year when it's getting close to my birthday, I always go into this place of reflection. And I start to think about where I've been and where I am and where I see my future. Now, I remember a time back, not maybe 6 years ago, when I couldn't even see a future. I didn't believe I had a future. I actually believed that it was too late, that my time had passed. Here I am, divorced in my 40s, having to start all back over, not even knowing what the next day will bring for me. And so thinking about a future beyond the next day was something that I couldn't even look forward to. So as I was writing my first book in 2015, I was just beginning my journey to discover my truth. I was just beginning the journey of addressing those emotions that have been hidden under the surface of my heart and my mind and my soul. I was just beginning the process to discover my voice. I was just beginning the process of living my life. Now, what does that have to do with right now? It's because in my time of reflection this week, I began to hear this voice inside of me that I hadn't heard before. And it's my voice. And it's me giving myself permission to stop living the life that I think that will be acceptable by everyone else. To stop allowing my insecurities to silence me as they've done so many years. And to begin to level up. Level up in how I see myself, level up in my mindset, level up in my emotional maturity, level up in my vision for the future. And I want you to be able to do the same. I may be 51, going into 51. You may be 25. You may be going into 30. And you're at these pivotal points of your life and you're thinking it's too late. I've made too many mistakes. I've gone through too many things and I'm damaged goods. I felt all of those things. So one of the things that I want to share with you today is that when you begin a journey to discover yourself, you have to give yourself permission to stop needing or listening to everyone else's opinion about what needs to be done in your journey and how you need to be changed, because everyone will have an opinion about who you are. And for many of us who have gone through traumatic experiences in our life, that, the abuse, the rape, the divorce, the abandonment, the insecurities, the things that caused you to feel as if you weren't wanted or loved, those things have brought you to this moment where you've decided, I want to level up. But everyone is going to have an opinion about what you need to level up on and what you need to change and how you need to shift your life. Well, today I want you to give yourself permission to listen only to your voice and to God's voice. Because for many of us, listening to what other people wanted for us is the reason why we're still stuck in some of those places. And as I began to reflect about when I was turning 50, I kind of got a little sad and I kind of got a little depressed. And I started to feel like, my time had passed. My time was over. My children, 2 of them were grown. The 2 younger ones were still home and I was still being a mom. And I thought, I'm just supposed to raise these babies and try and find my way. Well, what I discovered is that's not God's best for us. Yes, being a mother has great purpose in it, but we can't lose who we are. Going through a divorce, it had its purpose in our life, but we can't stop living because we've gone through something that didn't work. So as you go through this journey of shifting and leveling up, my first question would be to you, where have you been? And when I ask that question, many women feel shame. Many women feel fear. Because when you ask someone, where have you been? Immediately, all of the pain that they've been hiding under the surface rises to the surface. And they begin to remember those things that they've gone through that stole their voice, that caused their emotions to be immature, that caused them to see themselves as less than. Well, today I want you to give yourself permission to push through that fog of shame and fear. And I want you, for the first time, if it's the first time, to give yourself permission. That means to give yourself the approval to deal with that stuff. Because until you deal with that, you really can't see your future. Because the things of the past that we don't deal with, they become a fog to us. And you know, we can't see through a fog real clear. We can shine lights on it, but we can barely see an inch in front of our face sometimes. And as you begin to look back of where you've been, I pray that you will allow God to give you the strength this time to not run away from those things, because you're giving yourself permission to level up. In order to level up, we have to be brave enough to deal with those things that's keeping us down. So going back into the past and dealing with that thing that stole your voice, that thing that stole your power, that thing that told you that you were less than, that thing that told you you would never make it, that thing that told you you'll never amount to anything. And I want you to deal with it. I want you to speak to those emotions. I want you to shift your mind about it. I want you to shift how you see yourself in it. And I want you to give yourself permission to level up, to allow yourself to stand on those things and no longer allow them to pull you down. And then the next thing I would ask you is, where are you now? Where are you in your life? Is that where you desire to be? Are you living based on everyone else's expectations? Are you living on what's safe for you? Are you doing those things in what the world deems as acceptable? Or are you living your best life? What I thought about this week in preparing to turn 51 is that there are many young people who weren't able to reach this age where I am. If you're 25 years old, there are many people who have not been able to reach 25. There are many people who have not been able to reach 40. God has blessed us to be here today. So what are we going to do today? What decisions are we going to make in spite of what we've been through, in spite of our mistakes, in spite of how people see us, in spite of how we see ourselves, in spite of how we thought about ourselves? What decision are we going to make today in order to walk into the best versions of ourselves? And then my last question to you is, what do you see for your future? How do you see yourself showing up? Let me tell you something. This woman sitting here before you is brand new. She's brand new each day. I remember for the majority of my life, I have been called names because of my hair. Even as a teenager, I was talked about, I was called bald-headed, scalp-headed. You know, my hair was always breaking out. It was never healthy, always just looking a mess. And I have lived over 50 years of my life being so concerned and so imprisoned by my hair that it stopped me from embracing me. And 6 months ago, I made the decision that I was no longer going to allow my hair to be in control of me. So I shaved off those parts of my hair that always kept me silent. The sides of my hair, the back of my hair, I shaved it. And I was real cautious on how I did it because I was still worrying about how I would be accepted with my haircut. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I went through another reflection period, and I decided that my hair was still having some sense of control. And what I did was, I did research for myself of what I needed to do to shave my hair. I mean, really cut it off. I did research on YouTube and other videos, and I found that there are many women who are struggling with alopecia or having to cut their hair because of illnesses or whatever the case may be. And I listened to their stories, and then slowly I got someone to cut the parts of me that was controlling me in a negative sense. So I sit before you, the woman who never thought that she would cut her hair off because she was afraid of what people would think of her. They've already called her bald-headed. They've already called her this and that. And now she wants to cut her hair. Well, that's because I took control of the thing that was controlling me in a negative sense. Now, your situation may not be your hair, but what is that thing you need to cut off for you that's taking away your voice, that's silencing you, that's not allowing you to show up in your power and be your best self? Because today is the day that we have. Tomorrow we can believe for it, we can envision it, but today, what decision can you make for you to be your best self, to allow your voice to be heard to you, to allow your voice to be heard to the people that you are meant to serve? What is that thought going on in your mind from the past, that negative feeling that you need to cut off so that you can level up? So I want you guys to share your comments under this video and let me know, where in your life are you ready to level up? And where are you ready to give yourself permission to be your best self? And what is that thing in your life that you are willing to cut off, whether it be hair, emotions, people, whatever the case may be, in order for you to level up? Please share this broadcast. I would be so greatly appreciative of that. And also to let you know, join me in my private Facebook group, the Me Uncovered Lounge, and let's continue this conversation. And also, I wanted to remind you to be on the lookout for the revised edition of the Journey to Uncover the Real Me, coming to you the fall of 2018. So until next time, I'm Lynette M. Bradshaw. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.